Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here at the Illinois Firearms Association. If you're a gun owner in House District 82, these are suburb communities like Burr Ridge, Countryside, Darien, Homer, Lemont, Willow Springs, and Glen, take a moment to watch this quick video as we compare Representative Nicole La Ha versus her challenger, Suzanne Akhras, on your gun rights. Guys, I get it. It's been a tough couple years in Illinois in the fight to defend our Second Amendment freedoms. Pritzker has passed perhaps the nation's worst ban on the sale of AR-15s and accessories. But the truth of the matter is that he wants to go much, much further. And as you're about to hear, he is now actively pushing for allies who will help him go far beyond where things are right now in Illinois when it comes to gun rights. And so it's critical that as gun owners, especially in swing districts, that we are very active in the election process, that we know where the candidates stand so we can make our own most informed decision and take a stand for Second Amendment freedom. Now, in this video, I cannot tell you who to vote for. What I will do, though, is give you guys the information you have to make your own most informed decision. In this case, we're going to begin with Representative Nicole La Ha. Now, to be fair, there's very little details on Nicole as far as her time as a state rep. She's been there for quite some time as a staff member to a different state rep, but she was only appointed last December to this position. Thankfully, last session, there were no floor votes on gun control bills, so there's no way for us to give you a roll call vote history on Nicole La Ha, but it is good to note that she refused to co-sponsor any and all of the gun control bills that were making their way through the process last session. So all the bills you're going to hear about here in a moment, Nicole La Ha refused to support them. So not a lot there, but very helpful context. And that brings up her opponent, Suzanne Akhras. Suzanne Akhras is a longtime activist, we'll call it community activist in the community. She is a Syrian immigrant, and she focuses her time now on helping to onboard Syrian refugees that have come into America, into Chicago, and into these communities. That's her professional background, and now she wants to run for the Illinois House. First things first, you should know she has the endorsement of Moms Demand Action. This is Michael Bloomberg's funded gun control front group here in Illinois, and she has the backing of the Pritzker machine. So right off the bat, you know that Suzanne Akhras will support the entire gun control agenda here in Springfield. What does that look like going forward? Number one is ammo registration. This bill was filed in the last 2-year cycle here in Springfield, and what it would do is exactly like it sounds. These people want to register every single round of ammunition that we buy. This idea is already law in other blue states like New York and California, and that's Pritzker's next goal here for us in Illinois, is to have a complete list of every round of ammo we have. Whether it's tied to the FOID card or some new permitting scheme, that part is not clear yet, but that's next up on the agenda, and Suzanne Akhras would support that clearly in Springfield. Number two, mental health exams for gun owners. If this sounds insane to you, that's because it is. But this is the scary frontier on where blue states are going when they try to further crack down on the Second Amendment. They expect us to submit to a mental health exam every time we go to buy a gun, or perhaps it's to get a FOID card. Again, that part's not been specified. And that would give some state paid for mental health professional, whatever that even means these days, the ability to say, no, you like your freedom too much. You talk about the Second Amendment too much. You talk about the Founding Fathers too much. I don't think you're fit. Permit denied. Now, they're not making perverts, 400-pound dudes who dress like women who want to read books to our children in kindergarten go through mental health exams. No, they want to make gun owners, law-abiding citizens like you and me, go through that. This is already being proposed. It's already in draft in other blue states. We're told it's coming here, and Suzanne Akhras would back mental health exams as well. She also would back the idea of the social media gun control exams. This is another big issue that's moving fast across blue America. It's law right now in New York. It's being pushed right now in places like Washington. And guys, it was filed just 2 sessions ago right here in Illinois. And the idea of this is pretty simple. These commies want to have the state police go through your Facebook page, your X account, your Instagram account, and maybe others, and look for offensive or hateful speech to determine whether or not you have sufficient moral character to get a FOID card. So what does that look like? Well, if you post a meme mocking J.B. Pritzker or calling him an absolute commie, does that mean you're now denied your permit application? Maybe. I mean, how do we know, right? How do we define what hate speech is? How do you separate comedy from something else? It's all up to the individual investigator with the state patrol who would get to decide whether or not your conduct allows you, again, sarcasm intended, the right to buy a gun or not. That's next up on the agenda, and Suzanne Akhras would back all of that. Finally, there was a bill filed last session to have a new purchase permit set up in Illinois to go through another whole process if you want to buy a firearm. The bill number was House Bill, the number is missing on my sheet, sorry about that. It was filed this past session, and what it would do is allow your individual police chief in whatever jurisdiction you live in to have his or her own permit to make you submit an application for. And if you submit the application, if it's granted, it expires in just 10 days' time. So you better do it. You better use it quick. And more importantly, the permit could be denied for any reason the police chief felt necessary. So obviously, if you're in a rural area, maybe it doesn't apply to you. But for every single gun owner in the state who is in a municipality, just imagine what it would be like to have your local police chief, who is not elected, they are appointed, have that discretion. It would end your ability to buy handguns here in Illinois. Guys, that's on the agenda, and Suzanne Akhras would back that as well. So guys, in this race, the difference, the contrast is very sharp. Nicole La Ha, recently appointed to office, will not support any of Pritzker's gun control agenda, and Suzanne Akhras, a very radicalized leftist, supported by Pritzker and Michael Bloomberg, who would vote for every single bit of Pritzker's war on the Second Amendment. Guys, that's our report in this race. Do me a favor, make sure your friends, your family, your hunting buddies all see this video, and get out there on November 5 and send a message that Illinois still stands for freedom, public safety, and the Second Amendment.